Well, hey, it's Scott Slade, Atlanta's Morning News here on WSB Radio. Welcome. It's the way more Metro Atlantans start their day.
With 53 years in the business, Scott Slade is Georgia Radio. For decades, WSB Radio listeners have counted on Scott as a trusted news anchor they can believe in.
You're getting everything you can possibly need from Scott Slade as you're listening to the morning shows, when you're listening to interviews. And he's someone who both sides of the aisle trust. You know, how many interviews has he done with Republicans and Democrats where you're getting brand new news at him? So you're getting authenticity, but you're also getting authority from Scott Slade.
Time is 8:57.
Listeners say his voice is the soundtrack of their lives. His familiar tone as recognizable on the morning commute as it is in primetime interviews with Governor Brian Kemp.
Governor, broad goals for this upcoming session here. I'm curious what you think the theme should be.
And Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger.
How do you feel about the security of the system, the voting system, and the database itself? Is it secure?
Yes, it is secure.
That's because Scott Slade has the ear of the community.
He's very involved in the community, but any and everybody, when Scott calls, picks up the phone. All of our senators picks up the phone when Scott calls. Governor Kemp picks up the phone when Scott calls. The mayor picks up the phone when Scott calls. Whoever you are in local government, at whatever level you are, when Scott Slade calls, they pick up the phone. And so that makes him so in tune with the community because he can reach out and ask the questions that normal people want asked, but only Scott has the access to actually ask it.
Scott has received many awards, including his first as a teenage journalist in 1971. And years later, the National Association of Broadcasters Marconi Award as Best Radio Personality in America, and the Georgia Association of Broadcasters Hall of Fame.
Scott Slade and Scott's voice have been a mainstay of broadcast journalism in Georgia for decades. We are all grateful to Scott Slade for his work informing the public, asking tough questions of leaders, and bringing a smile to our faces. Thank you, Scott.
Still, colleagues describe him as modest and kind, with a strong work ethic and a fun side. That makes his radio programs a favorite of music fans and political buffs alike.
He is an animal owner and he is a pet lover. We disagree sometimes about our commitment to cats. I'm possibly more of a cat fan than he is, but he's got one who's got quite a bit of a personality. He's got a dog right now that is close to his heart. He has an interest in travel. And he has a real, Scott was a rock and roll DJ way back in the day. I don't know if you can ever persuade him to show pictures of what he used to look like when he was doing rock radio, but he has an old fashioned rock sensibility.
From coverage of 9/11 to Snowmageddon, to his charitable work to fight childhood cancer, raising millions of dollars through WSB Radio Carathon, Scott Slade is a vital part of the fabric of Atlanta. His emotional sign-off at WSB earlier this year included a wish for the future of journalism.
Please, please, please stop the erosion of local media. Whether it's your local paper, your local radio station, your local TV station, even your local blogger, please support them. Read, watch, listen, interact. If you want to move your business ahead, remember Ted Turner's advice. Early to bed, early to rise, work like hell and advertise. We would love to have you. The Founding Fathers thought it was important to put First Amendment guarantees of free speech in the Constitution because they knew it was vital for a Fourth Estate to hold the powerful accountable and tell compelling stories to generate public response to needs. So please, if you lose the local voice, you lose the people who are going to be most able to examine what's going on around you. And that is the number one news value, along with oddity, curiosity, universality. It is local. What is happening down the street is most important. And this is a local radio station. I hope you'll continue to support it and all the other local media. We have some terrific outlets here in this town. And as for me, it's not over. I'm looking forward to getting some rest and then begin a next chapter with WSB. Walter Cronkite retired from the CBS Evening News in 1981 and worked another 25 years. I don't know if I'm going to go that long, but you'll hear from me again, and I hope you will be around for it.
The Atlanta Press Club is proud to induct Scott Slade into the Atlanta Press Club Hall of Fame.